Hello.
Hey.
What are we gonna? Oh, this is odd. I don't know.
It was the bit.
I hate
Sir,
it.
can you?
Are we having
Are you
technical?
okay?
Is that the ghost? Hello?
We're here.
Is everyone okay?
I feel like that's a
Weird just
relative
happened.
term.
For real.
Hello.
What are you, like a Nicholas Sparks? But I don't know.
Okay,
Nicholas
restart.
Relative.
Sparks.
You know the guy he wrote all those books that are all.
You
Sappy.
know what? Never mind. Fuck
Yeah,
you. I'm done.
The Notebook.
The Notebook.
Franny's doodling a little ghost over there. He's really
A
cute.
walk to remember.
Yeah, because it's
A Walk
spooky
to Remember.
time.
Is that's Mandy Moore, right?
Yeah, it is.
Hell yeah, it is.
Mandy
You know
Moore,
it, baby.
dude.
I just got reminded of that that movie because a podcaster Madison got me into is discussing it. I saw on
Don't give them free
Instagram.
clout. Don't say who
Nope,
they are.
we're not gonna say the name of it. You can find out for yourself.
Yeah.
No,
well, you can't.
I wasn't saying anything. I just said a podcaster.
It's a podcaster not in any competition with us, I don't think, from our niche, but
right. Yeah. No, I
They're
don't.
talking about a movie, so maybe.
Like typically
no.
no.
I feel like I have to say the name now because we've talked about it too
No,
much.
no. Let it be a mystery. There will be people trying to figure it out.
All right, fine.
Okay, so we're here reviewing Paranormal Activity.
Before you
The
keep
marked
going,
ones.
before
Yes.
you keep going, put your votes in the comments, like who it is,
Oh, who the podcast is? Yeah.
who the podcast.
I was like, the votes for what?
yeah. We're moving
You have
on.
to be there.
You know what though? We should just do it and see what
No,
happens.
I don't want to.
Why?
I'm against it.
Why? We're
'Cause
over
it's
it.
too heavy now.
We're over it though. I was over the top and I apologize. But
I know,
now
and I'm
now
sorry
I'm
too. I
kind of
didn't mean to hurt
wondering.
your
now we
feelings.
can't. Now we can't do it because like we can't not do it.
Oh yeah, it's not
Okay, I guess we have to do it.
Yes.
Please tell us in the comments. And
It's so funny. They're like thinking this is a serious argument too, and they're gonna hear the question and be like, "What is wrong with these people?"
And like, I'm not gonna go into why the argument happened because it'll sway your votes. Like,
That's
I cannot divulge the details of the argument because I want this to be unbiased.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like, nobody talk to your friends, nobody tell your friends to come on here and be like, "Oh, you're Elaine," because I don't want that.
So who's friends? What? Oh, you mean
Anyone's
the
friends.
commenters? Just give your honest opinion.
Yeah, give your honest opinion. Of the four of us, which characters are we from Seinfeld?
Mm-hmm. And list all of us
Yeah.
and each individual character, and you can get as obscure as you want.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just
You know, I've never seen an episode of Seinfeld.
That's a shame.
That is
you
a
gotta
damn
talk into the
shame.
microphone in order to be heard.
You know, I've never seen an episode of Seinfeld.
That is a shame. But yeah, I guess can we allow people to do repeats? Like if we want to say like
No,
okay, no repeats
no,
then.
because that defeats the whole purpose.
Right, of course.
Anyway,
I'm not gonna say who or why or what, but like there was a fight about this. A little bit.
More than a little bit.
there was a fight that spawned from it.
Yeah.
Wasn't really about it in particular.
Yeah, it was about other. We don't need to get into it. We don't need to get into our interpersonal drama.
It's none of their business.
I mean,
Correct.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. We love you
I
guys.
think it's a little bit their business.
We also love each other. I feel like people think that we hate each other, and us saying that we like had a fight is gonna make people think that.
They're gonna
more.
think it even more like they're just in it for the money. What money, buddy?
Right. Once there's money to be had, that's when I'll be in it for the money. Right.
No.
Anyways,
We're good.
So
We're all good.
anyways,
we're doing.
we are Crosscut Cinema.
That was
Oh,
rude.
you're right.
Oh my god.
Anyways.
I was trying to do that. I was trying to get to what you were saying.
No, you were gonna say Paranormal Activity.
Oh,
I could tell.
okay,
I could tell. I could tell.
Damn.
We're watching Paranormal
I
Activity,
feel
the
like this is
whack
the
ones.
invitation again, guys. I don't like it.
Okay, so we're Crosscut Cinema, as Franny said.
Yes. Hello, I'm Franny.
I'm Madison.
I'm Brie.
I really want to say what character I think I am from Seinfeld
No,
for the bit,
do not
but I won't.
say
My name's
it.
Logan. But how funny would that have been?
Yeah,
have
it
to
wouldn't be
record
funny
it.
because
It
then
would-
we'd have to delete it and
We're
re-record it.
recording.
It would have been hilarious.
Also, like by the time this comes out, it's gonna be a while before this comes out, not like from the moment we're recording it. So it'll be funny, like because it won't matter then. But like
It doesn't
feels,
really matter now.
no.
It didn't really matter even then. It just was a part of a whole different conversation.
Yeah, I guess.
You
Yeah.
know, the camel's back, as they say.
And the straw, you know.
Fair enough.
Yep.
So yeah, we're doing this is the last Paranormal Activity episode.
Yes.
That's really sad to me.
By
And also the last episode ever. No, I'm just kidding.
I have
It's
to
not.
correct a record. I have to correct a record. On the last podcast, I said that I'd never seen Ghost Dimension. That's almost true. What I meant to say was I've never finished it. So the first time I will ever actually sit through the whole thing is tonight.
Here we go.
Where
Is
we're
it-
watching it right after this episode. It'll be the first time I've
Well,
gone through
it's
the whole
right
movie.
after this episode.
Well, we're pausing, watching, and coming back.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this one about marked ones really
Because
quick.
I didn't want it to change our perspective.
Right.
I feel like it's so bad that it might change our perspective on everything else. So I wanted to watch this and then do it.
Yeah, I don't think any of us have seen Ghost Dimension. Is that right?
I've
I
seen
mean,
most
you've seen
of it.
most of it, but like I don't think any of us
like the
have.
fact that you stopped the movie it speaks volumes. Logan,
Multiple
like-
times. I've tried to get through it multiple times.
Oh my god, really?
I was watching it because I was going to try to finish it before the podcast. So I had like a little bit of an understanding just in case there's something I had to warn people about. I couldn't get through it. It's
I mean, we
that
can
bad.
use doesthedogdie.com.
But I'm worried that it's not going to be bad enough now for you guys. You guys are like, it wasn't even bad enough. Now it was boring and bad.
Well, we'll just have to
I
find
mean-
out. We don't know the answers to that question yet.
It's a good point.
You
This
know.
is good though because it'll like help us avoid the problem that we kind of have. We've kind of had where it's like
We talked
we're
about
talking about
both.
both movies at once when we want to talk about them separately.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, we should
And-
do it this way.
And I like the problem that we had when we first watched the first movie where little Bridget over there kept being like, because Madison never seen it, she'd be like, oh, I remember this so vividly right before something bad was about to happen.
I don't know
fact that
how
there's gonna
long
be
that's going to
something.
chap Franny's ass, but she's
I
still
know.
on it.
It was so
It did not
cute.
bother me.
Was it high? No, I was high during 3.
No, it was
4.
honestly, I just think it
4.
was really funny. It was cracking me up how you
Bridget's substance
spoiled.
abuse pops off.
Stop.
Jay, I promise she doesn't have a substance abuse problem.
I've
He's
even
literally fine.
I've completely stopped drinking now as well because I'm doing school.
Since last week?
Yeah.
I'm
Sunday was the
honest
last.
time 1 week. Bridget's 1 week sober, guys. Let's give her a round of applause.
They make coins for that.
Glasses up for Bridget's 1 week chip. Wait, no, not glasses up. Put the glasses down.
Put the glasses away.
It's the last thing we need. And here's a glass for Bridget to drink out of.
I'm not even allowed to have water, you know.
No.
Just stop drinking all
Bridget is
fluids.
sober from all liquids.
I have an IV with me
She just has to eat a
constantly.
lot of fruit.
Instead of on like a liquid quench, she's on a hard foods cleanse. You're
a
outside
purist.
eating asphalt and shit.
Rocks, you know.
She's a purist. She won't even do food with moisture.
Right.
Oh my
She
God.
eats fucking crackers all day.
Won't even
That
do it.
sounds awful with no water. Like,
Um,
I really wish I had somebody to trash and be like, yeah, like that person's dry food, but I don't have anyone. But God, it'd been so good if I did. Anyway, Paranormal Activity, the marked
like those
ones.
cookies that I
Yeah.
made. I'm sorry.
Those were good.
They were fucking burned to shit though.
macaroni and cheese style, as I said.
I'm
They were
sorry.
pretty
I like
good.
interrupted you. I just had that
They were
thought. I was
pretty
like,
good.
oh my god.
They weren't bad. They were not
I
bad.
am a little disappointed because I,
I mean,
bought that
they're-
cookie dough with the full intention that I was gonna make them, but also that I was gonna get snack on the cookie
You
dough.
need to make more of those Oreo balls that I love so much.
Oh my god, it's been
Those were
so
s-
long.
Those were so good, dude.
I should make those.
You should,
didn't
because
tell me.
that was the moment. By the way, we're coming up this next couple of days. It is the official moment where we became friends.
How do you know when that is?
Oh my
Because it was September
God.
before Halloween when I first invited you to my place.
I don't remember the.
It was in September.
I don't remember the date or anything.
Oh
I don't
my
remember the specific
God,
date,
Our
but-
anniversaries are all aligning, guys.
It was like September
This is
area.
mine and Logan's specific anniversary.
Because you had hung out with me, and then we had hung out every weekend until Halloween because you guys had plans.
yes, you're
We
right.
went
So
to
we
a
started hanging
drag
out in
show.
September.
That sounds about right.
So that's
do
coming up
we
on a
do?
year.
So cute.
We went to a
We
drag
were-
show.
No, we saw
Oh,
We saw Parasite.
We saw Parasite. That was the first time we hung out. We saw
Yep.
Parasite.
We had a little date. We went in Tom and Chi and we saw Parasite. It was
we
good.
had a little friend date.
Yeah,
That's
it was
really
good.
cute.
It was
That is
adorable.
cute.
We had a great
like
time.
you had to take me out, you know.
Yeah, it was good. I had to
so that
wine
we
and
could
dine
be
you.
friends. Yeah.
She had to. He had to convince her that not all men are trash.
and then he took me home
Oh
to
my
meet
God,
Franny.
yeah.
yes.
And we walked to the
And the
park and it was
dogs.
really fucking cold.
It was fun.
It was so cold though. I remember how cold it was.
And Bridget was not there. And
I
then
was not there.
And
I
then
wasn't part of
and
the
then I had to
gang
bring
yet.
Bridget to meet you. I was like, all right,
Mm-hmm.
now it's time to introduce Bridget to the mix.
Which I had met Bridget once, but it was in the
Oh,
scope
yeah.
of like her running into a door and things like that.
I don't even remember that though. For real.
You don't remember
thinking
meeting
me to the point of like
Oh
exhaustion.
my god, you're right.
You were thinking me to the point of exhaustion for charging your phone. Like I had delivered your baby. Like it was intense. It was so intense.
I think I remember too, like when Bridget like first came to hang out with us, and what's happening?
Fixing.
Bridget was fucking with the mic, and it just sounded really weird.
We're gonna get to Paranormal Activity eventually, but we just have to say this bit.
But yeah, and I brought Bridget, and I was like, "You've met him before," and she's like, "I don't think so." I was like, "No, you have." And I was like, "He was our person at the redacted.
At the thing we did, the redacted. He was
at
our
the
waiter.
place where we worked.
He was our waiter.
Fair, kind of, in a way.
Yeah.
In so many words. And then our boss said, "Are they like together?
Are they like dating?" I'm like, I wonder what it was. The fact that they look at each other like they want to rip each other's clothes off, or like if they're not dating, they fucking will be, buddy. So if one of them has a boyfriend, that boyfriend should be fucking worried. So it was so
me and Bridget
obvious.
were boyfriend and girlfriend at the time.
It was so, and then one point
For like a year at that point.
you were out in the lobby, and you looked really upset, and you called Madison up to the lobby for you, and I thought, I didn't know you yet. I thought you were dumping Madison at work, and I was ready to go off.
No.
I was like, hell no, you ain't doing my girl like this. Hell no.
I don't remember why. Maybe we had food for her. I don't know. I had something.
Yeah, it was something like really innocent. Like she said she's gonna wait in my car. I was like, oh, I thought she was breaking up.
Oh
with you.
yeah, no, that was probably
Yeah,
it.
I think it was-
I used to just hang out in her
because
car
Bridget used
for
to
hours.
work really close to where we used to work, and so she would just come and like grab my keys and hang and like take a nap in my car. And yeah, and I was like, I guess I was just bringing her my keys or whatever, and Logan like
And you
really
guys talked
thought-
on the bench for a while, and it looked like one was comforting the other. But now that I know your dynamic, it was just you two
I
talking.
actually remember exactly what happened. Is that I patted Bridget on the knee, and I said like have a good night, sport, or something like
she
that.
really
like,
did say that.
like just being stupid.
I remember I was like, I'm gonna order a pizza. She's coming to my place. We're gonna watch movies. Fuck this lady. She doesn't need her. And
And
then
then I came back and he was like, "What happened?" And I was like, "I gave her my keys."
any other person on the planet would have thought she just broke up with you for sure. Like for sure.
That's just the energy that she
Breaking
lets
up
off
all the
always.
time. Me? I have breakup energy.
No, you have nervous energy.
yeah.
Oh, I do.
You both have consoling one another energy.
Yeah.
Did you like that sandwich? Are you okay?
That's literally how we are, though.
It is though.
Yeah.
It really is. It's cute. Don't worry. Anyway, Paranormal Activity, the marked ones. We're definitely gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was loud. My
Bridget
voice
marked my
echoed.
heart. Logan marked my heart when we became friends like a year ago.
Yeah, it was so cute.
It was so
Guys,
cute.
we should
saw
throw. You
Parasite
should throw a
together.
little like anniversary, a little party. You
It
should have balloons.
seems like a lot because
Seems like a weird thing to do.
and also it's like we're also doing a lot anyways. So it's like we're gonna have 3 parties this month, all related to Madison.
She doesn't need any more.
As well it should be.
Like she's not a patron saint or anything. She's just, you know what I mean. Like I don't need to
Wait,
praise
how is
her
there 3?
because okay, well we're going to the movies.
Yeah.
And then we're
You're having
going
2
to have
birthdays.
you're coming here for Top Gun, and then we're also gonna have a friend-iversary. You don't think that's a bit much?
I guess so, a little bit. I feel like Tenet does not have to be a birthday thing. It just
I
was
think it should
originally
be.
intended
I think
to
it
be.
should.
I think it should be too, because I want to go out and do something
Yeah.
Yeah.
as a friend group.
We're gonna watch
That's
Robert Pattinboy do some future
That's
stuff.
a little spoiler alert for a future episode, actually.
Everyone knows we're gonna review Tenet. It's the first big movie that's gonna come out.
But you said the other one too.
Yeah, but they know you love Top Gun. They weren't assuming that
that's true.
You're the one who just spoiled it, actually. Everyone knows you love Top Gun. It's your favorite movie.
It is.
The
I think it's the
homoerotic
greatest movie
attention.
ever made.
That and Reservoir
If
Dogs.
I would have said Ratatouille, no one would have assumed anything either.
True.
Okay, it's time.
Okay, let's talk about
I
marked
fucking
ones.
mean it. This is Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, directed by
Somebody.
is it Christopher Landon, Michael Landon, something like that.
I don't know.
He had written other Paranormal Activities before this. This was his first shot at like directing a big feature. What did you
Wow.
guys think?
I really like this one.
I also really liked it.
It breaks all the tropes, dude. There's no
It does.
McMansions, no rich white people.
Oh my god, I love that about
Yeah,
it.
I like that this like this movie more than others feels like it takes place in an actual place.
For sure.
Yeah, correct.
The-
like,
With like real people.
Yeah.
yeah,
The villa apartments feel lived in. People are walking around playing soccer or like
Yeah, and like
getting
hanging
groceries,
out.
hanging out. It feels very real. The neighborhood feels really like lived in.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess like the burbs are very isolating.
They are.
And you know, now it brings, you know, it almost brings I guess you could say like a legitimacy to one of my arguments that I had before. It goes against what I said and gives an argument against what I said, because I said when we reviewed the first one, it makes no sense that the cops would not be called and all this stuff, but then when you realize how isolated suburbia is,
Yeah, that's
and then
a good
you see
point.
the cops called all the time during marked
Yeah.
ones, you're like, oh, I guess the real reason is because I've never been rich and lived in suburbia. I've always lived in like the shittiest of holes. So I had no idea that people actually get peace and quiet and are left alone.
Yeah, and I mean, like, this movie has something that the others certainly don't have, which is like extras.
That's so
Right.
Point.
No, because PA3 kind of had extras with the parties and stuff, but
Yeah, but it makes
but
it
it's
feel
believable extras is what it is.
Yeah, it makes it feel like more like I don't want to say like a real movie, but like a real like fully fleshed out setting in the ways that the others don't. So
Yeah.
much.
So lived in, like
Yeah.
so many people and all the characters are written better than a single character in the other movies.
Yeah,
and
this movie
I'm
has-
including 3, even though I believe the characters in 3 are great. Even just the girlfriend character, that, you know, the girl he likes or whatever you want to call her. That was the chair, not Franny farting.
I was like, what the fuck? Hmm?
Even like the girlfriend or like the best friend or the
Yeah.
abuela, all these characters had so much character in them. Even the father, who you only saw for a few minutes,
Right.
because you know he's working all the time.
Yeah.
But you still get that sense that he's a caring father because he's concerned about his kid, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, like, yeah, this movie definitely has like the best characters out of all the Paranormal Activity
For
movies.
sure.
I agree.
And like in the other Paranormal Activity movies, I wasn't really super invested in the outcomes for the characters themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was more so interested in
We cared
like,
about Dennis. We were worried about that cake, and that's about it.
Yeah, but like you know, when you watch the other ones, I was definitely more so interested in like what's happening with this ghost shit rather than like what's happening to this person with this ghost shit. But in this movie, I was like very much attached to the characters.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And like they were very likable and people that you wanted to like succeed or you wanted, you know, this to happen.
Yeah, and there was it almost felt like Paranormal Activity meets Sam Raimi's Spider-Man in some ways.
This is like the second time you brought up Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. I've been like two different, relating to two different things.
Yeah. We were talking about Shazam earlier, and I said a lot of the comedies like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. But with this, there's like a let me discover my powers montage,
Yeah.
and it's actually really
Yeah.
fucking cool in this movie.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And it's
well
so
done.
accurate to what teenagers would be
For
doing
sure.
if that
Yeah,
happened.
I mean, these are very,
Right.
very much like very realistic, very normal teen boys.
yeah, they would be filming that shit and testing the
And like
limits.
for once, this movie doesn't treat its like teen characters, male and female, in like a creepy way.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I really liked the scene where they're like doing the trust falls with the like,
Yes,
Demon?
and the guy tries it.
yeah,
and he just
yeah,
straight to the.
Or when they have that like wannabe bop it.
No, it's a Simon
it was a
Says.
Simon
Simon
Says.
says. I've never seen.
yeah. That they
You've
kind
never,
of
I'm
played,
not- I'm
you've
not-
never played a Simon Says?
I've never like. No, I've never had fun.
me either.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what?
What it is it's a memory game. So like you hit it, and then it beeps, and then you have to hit the one that beeped, and then but it will do it in sequence. So you have to remember the sequence and the colors.
But this one just did the same color whenever you asked it.
Yeah, I liked that. That
Well,
was
yeah.
like,
Yeah, because the ghost is controlling it.
yeah.
So
it-
maybe the demon's not named Toby, but this one's named Simon.
shut
Oh,
the
Bum, bum.
fuck up.
Oh, sorry.
I really liked
I
that.
like how you called the Simon Says a knockoff Bop It, by the way. That made me laugh.
Is it still kind of true though? 'Cause
No.
you have
No,
to-
it's a totally different thing.
well, with Bop It, you have to memorize the things too, and you have to.
well,
hit
you
it.
just have to do what it says really
no, because
quickly.
you have to do it in a rotation.
No,
You
because
add you add a new element every time,
Yeah.
every round.
but there's only 3 elements ultimately.
No, there's tons of zip it, bab, and then you have to mix it up. At the end of each one, a new thing's added, and you keep going in a circle. So it goes Simon Bop It or whatever, bop it, boom, and then the second one's bop it and twist it, and then you have to bop it, twist it, and something else, and then bop it, and then something else.
Yeah, but you don't have to remember.
Yeah, you do, because you're adding. You're doing it over and over again. The first one's always a bop it. You bop the shit out of it. And then you bop it and do something else. And you bop it, do whatever you had to do before, and now something new. And then you keep going.
I think it's
anyways,
random.
Maybe some of them, but not the one that I had.
It's Bop It, Twist It, and Pull It. There's only 3.
There was I had more. There was a couple of other ones.
Okay.
Sound off in the comments.
Boom.
About whether Simon Says and Bop It are different, which they are.
I
I'm
firmly
not
believe
saying they're not different. I'm saying they're similar.
I think that's not what we're reviewing.
Tune into the podcast where we discuss the nuances of toys.
I really liked the fact that they used that instead of just using like the classic Ouija board like they did in the first one and everything. It was like a cool, like bringing it into like the urban kind of setting where they're not going to go out and buy a fucking Ouija board. They're just going to use what they have because they're teenagers.
And also,
And, like,
it was not intentional that they were going to
exactly.
communicate the spirit. They were
Oh
just
my
like,
god, the abuela, when she sees it, her reaction is me.
She's like,
involving
like
any of
she
this.
was Franny telling us to get the fuck out of her house when
Yeah.
she thought there was a ghost.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, that's me. That's my energy always. Grab that shit and take it away.
I fucking love the Abuela character as well.
Me too.
Like, I just want to give her a hug.
Right?
That
She
egg
was really
scene is
trying her
haunting.
best. That egg scene was intense.
We knew it was coming too. Like
Yeah.
if you know anything
Yeah.
about voodoo lore and like movies,
So
crack an egg and there's blood that comes out.
yeah, the abuela like
Yeah.
goes to like this like kind of like voodoo-y store, I don't know, to kind of like talk to this guy and try to figure out what the fuck is going on with her grandson, like a good abuela. And yeah, she was just super into that shit. And I like how they had a consistent character doing that, because in one of these fucking movies, I don't
Two.
know, they all start they all start blurring together at one point. They have kind of a character like that in the like nanny / like live-in like
yeah,
au
yeah. You're
pair.
talking about two, yeah.
Yeah. But like they get rid of her so fast and all she does is like sage. I really liked that we had a consistent character like that. It was just a cool like mix in, because normally it's just all these like white rich people trying to deal with a ghost.
Right. It was,
And failing.
and like,
Yeah.
it was cool. Like the sort of, like the lore of this movie
Yeah.
made sense. Like the whole idea of like what it means to be a marked one, like that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like that, and I liked how it like tied in with, you know, the other movies in
And-
the
and the
series,
best part
but
is
without doing it like super.
Yeah, like when you go to see this movie or the trailers or whatever it was, nobody knew that it was going to be related. And when the way they related it was really fucking cool.
Yeah,
I
It
love
really was.
I love they brought Allie back. That was
Yeah.
cool.
yeah, that was cool.
We had talked about previously, like, what's so stupid the way she was kept alive, but I'm glad she's alive. And she got to do actually something, which
Yeah.
was great. It was cool that they explained essentially time travel with this movie, which was interesting because that's
Yeah.
something that I feel like the film, that the universe itself could use to enhance the reasons why certain things happened.
Right, and then they're just they're just more like the idea of there being more witches who work with these like
cult.
spirit world
The
for
Tobies, as
for
we
various
called them.
purposes. Yeah. And like also the other thing I really liked about this movie is like how funny it was. Like the other movies are not really funny. Like they have
Sure.
their funny moments, but like this is a funny movie.
For sure.
It really is.
It was so relatable. It's
And,
like,
these
it's
are just dumb
relatable
teen
humor.
boys
Yeah.
doing
sure.
dumb teen boy shit.
And like for a while, it was sort of like an origin story, like for a superhero.
Yeah, it totally
Yeah,
felt
it was
that way.
fun.
And it felt that way. It felt like a superhero movie until all of a sudden it wasn't a superhero
And, like,
movie anymore.
And like what led to them even getting involved with that, how like they had like the creepy neighbor Anna
And
that-
the GoPro.
yeah,
Fucking
that-
that scene.
Oh my God.
That was so.
Hey kids, don't do that.
but kids like spying on like their creepy reclusive neighbor is so like relatable too, you know.
We had this guy in my old neighborhood. Shout out to all the people in my old neighborhood, called the Umbrella Man.
Oh,
He carried an umbrella around with him year round.
just in case, baby.
He told kids, he would walk up to kids at the playground while they were playing and say, "It's my secret weapon." And my principal, Mr. I'm just saying it, Mr. Mannering, chased his ass like a football player off of the school. It was fucking metal. He was
That's
wearing a
insane.
Scooby-Doo tie and everything.
Wow.
I love that
Chased his
shit.
ass. It's great.
That's badass.
But yeah, we all have that creepy neighborhood whack job that everybody's like.
We didn't like have our neighborhood whack job.
For some
wasn't
people,
really
I don't know.
creepy.
For some people, it might have been Pam, but I
But,
love you, Pam.
yeah.
I don't think you're.
I was gonna say, if you don't know who your neighborhood whack job is, it might
the
have been
neighborhood
like
whack-
one of your family
No, but-
members.
Maybe
I know
in my
who mine
family,
was.
but there was this guy that literally walked around every day, and like he was an old man literally my whole life, and apparently he just recently passed away. And I'm like, how? This dude was like
He was a
80
marked
when-
one, dude.
right? But he would walk around every day and walk while reading the Bible.
Oh my God.
And he would walk his ass all around, because I grew up in like a tiny like little town, and he'd walk all over that fucking town with his Bible just hunched over it.
All right.
Not saying a word to anybody.
Have you guys ever heard that apparently in Long Beach there's like a little people town?
What?
Never heard
In
of
Long
What?
Beach, California. Apparently there
Holy
were people
shit.
who were shooting in The Wizard of Oz, and they built them just to like save money and stuff. They built them like a little village, and like there's somebody who owns that little village for like events for small
Wow.
people.
That's interesting.
Isn't that weird? You just said small town. That's what I thought of.
Oh, I just looked it up, and like it says an article with quotes midget town.
Oh God.
Well,
Marked ones.
sounds like the person who credited the Scooby-Doo cast wrote that article because
They call it Midgetville on the Wikipedia. I mean, I
okay.
guess they're taking it and claiming it.
during the Scooby-Doo episode, I said a man was that word, and I just wanted to clarify that if you look in the credits, he is written as such.
Fair
so
enough.
it's not entirely my fault.
But marked ones, though.
Yeah, sorry.
So let's talk about marked ones.
Okay, one of the best things about marked ones, I love how the neighborhood is so lived in, like so breathable, that at one point when the character Oscar essentially kills himself or whatever it may be, but when they're looking for him before that point, they meet up with.
Oh my God, Madison.
Did you have it on the table?
I did for
I was literally pointing at it.
Good.
Franny saw.
I appreciate Narc Bridget.
Narc Bridget.
We don't let Madison keep your drinks on the table, and as
I
she
don't
was
think
In
that's
fact,
fair.
this is not okay.
as she was we don't let anybody, but as she was complaining and pleading with everyone to let her keep her drink, she
Not
spilled
everyone,
it
I
on
was in the bathroom.
herself.
I didn't spill
You
it.
kind of spilled it a
I just
little
almost
bit.
dropped it.
She
Enough.
bumblefucked
Marked
it.
ones.
Oh yeah, so they're able. The neighborhood's so close that even though like this Oscar's brother's like a cholo gangster, like 1,000% through and through, they're able to go to his house and talk to him about everything going on, and that's the intro to us understanding the involvement that these characters have with the rest of the series.
Yeah.
where you learn about all these kids, firstborns, always taken, disappear, whatever it may be. And then that's how they intro Allie. You see that Oscar actually had gotten contact with Allie at some point.
Yes.
Spooky.
But one thing that I wasn't clear about is I thought but wasn't the thing that like Oscar wasn't a firstborn, or no, he was adopted.
He was adopted. He was the firstborn
Yeah.
of somebody
Correct.
else.
Got it. Never
Because his
mind.
mother actually died in childbirth.
Oh, okay. I answered my own question. Got it.
You know who else died in childbirth?
Yeah, that's
What's his-
another like.
yeah, the other guy's another. I don't remember his name for whatever reason. I'm blanking.
How did?
I remember Oscar. I remember.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, just
No
bring up the
worries.
cast list.
So does this mean that Hunter was a
Hunter
marked
is
one?
special. Hunter is the vessel for Toby.
That's what I
Hunter's a
thought.
Yeah,
Special
that's like
born.
a different case.
Hunter's
it.
like a high witch's grandchild.
Ooh, okay. The guy that played Jesse had a glow up, but anyway,
You better calm down.
I think it's Jesse. Jesse, or no, Hector was the.
Oh, Hector. That's right.
Hector, yes.
and then Jesse was the friend.
And like there's like the one of the scenes I really liked is, even though it was very bizarre to me and still is, I think it doesn't make a lot of sense, but whatever. When they meet the two girls and they take them back.
basement.
They take them back to the house of the woman who died to fuck them.
Well, that's that I believe. The part
That's very
something that would
accurate
totally
of Teen
happen.
Yeah.
Boys.
I disagree.
I
That's
know,
gross.
You didn't
I
fuck
don't-
Teen
listen.
Boys.
Well, that's true.
Listen,
Yeah,
I
no,
don't,
that's very accurate.
I don't want to out specific people, but people who know me know that would never. That's exactly the kind of thing that all kids
Yeah.
did. Our
That's
age.
disgusting. A woman
You can-
died there. There
You
was
can
her
still
Don't have
blood.
any respect.
You can be a judge, but I mean, you can be a judgy person, but if people have sex in hospitals, because people die there all the time.
Yeah, I know, but
But what?
that's weird too.
Yeah, I agree, but is it as weird?
And also,
But
when
like
you're
her blood was on the carpet.
when you're that age, you're
no,
just
they don't.
trying to
They
get
don't
away.
know if that was her blood. They thought it was like a part of a weird ritual thing. She wasn't stabbed. She just fucking died.
No, I know, but somebody's
I
blood
thought
was
she
on
was.
the
I
damn
thought she was
carpet.
shot.
Oh, I guess that was mentioned. You're right, but
Yeah.
that wasn't her blood though. They made a point of that it wasn't like her blood. That it was like ritual blood, and they don't know
Well,
what it was.
regardless, it's still blood.
I'm looking
I
at the
mean-
cast list for marked ones, and this David Fernandez Jr. guy was just cast. His character name is Cholo.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a lot of cholos in this
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
but
But no, you're talking about, you're mentioning the basement scene.
Yeah,
right?
but that was like a scene that was pretty scary to me.
Holy
like,
shit, scary. I knew. I was sitting there.
Oh my God.
And I was like, Bridget can't say I remember this part, except she could. She forgot she actually had seen it. But
I did.
But you
I
didn't.
did.
But you didn't say you remember this part, and I knew. I knew
say
it was
that.
gonna get a motherfucker. I
It's
knew it
got-
was gonna
got
get
my
y'all.
ass.
I was like, ooh, yes, it was so good.
Yeah, and like this, like the one thing I disliked about this movie is it didn't have as many scares. I think it's the other ones. It's not as scary of a movie, and
It's actually oddly very plot forward.
yes,
It's very much a narrative.
yeah. And though I like that as kind of being a little bit different from like some other movies, which is just like this movie is a vessel for scares. I also like wanted it to be a little scarier.
I don't know. I'll say this. You can say that in retrospect, but the scares they had scared the shit out of you.
That's what I was
Oh, yeah,
gonna say.
for
Like I
sure.
wanted
Yeah.
it to have a little more scares, but the scares that were there were very scary.
And pretty much the last 10 minutes of the movie is some of the most horrifying shit.
Yeah.
That whole end sequence where they're running around the old house and you're seeing all these fucking bodies drop. You see old girl drop through the skylight. There's a lot of
Yeah.
scary moments in this, especially like at first you want to laugh, but then you're like, oh my God, that's really haunting. Where Oscar's brother is just blowing these fucking witches away with a shotgun.
It's amazing.
It's scary, funny, and awesome all at the same time. Because they're screaming kamikaze style, like ready to run at him and murder him. And he's just blasting them.
Which
I mean,
is
they go
another
flying.
thing you don't normally see in these movies.
For sure.
Like he said, I'll pop a cap in Toby's ass. I don't give a fuck.
Fuck Toby. Dude,
I love it.
He brought a gun to a witch fight,
Yeah,
Correct.
they both brought guns.
Hey.
He
and I
blew-
fucking loved it.
Also, the scene where Hector's the one who got taken
Yeah.
over, right? The marked one. Mm-hmm. The scene where his boy Jesse's pulling up in the car, and he says the girl he likes, and then he's standing in front of it, and all that crazy shit happens where he's busting through the window and everything.
Yeah.
All of that was shot really fucking well for found footage.
Yeah.
Because your instinct is he's on top of the car, and they didn't do it.
Right.
They did not give you the punch through the ceiling scare. They let you think that was going to happen so brilliantly just to have you turn to the driver's side window and have him bust straight through it.
Yeah.
Great
that was
direction.
a very good scene.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And like even though I hated it a lot, like the scene where the dog was on the ceiling
Oh, I know.
was like deeply upsetting, but also very like effective. Especially
sure.
because throughout the movie, like he loves this dog so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Oh, I remember the dog's name. Is it Choco? No, it's something like
I think
that.
it's like
It's something really close to that.
Chovy, maybe.
Chovy. Yeah, Chovo.
I don't know.
I'm
It's the
gonna
other
look
thing.
it up.
I think it's Chovo,
I don't remember.
but it doesn't matter. He's awesome. That dog was awesome.
I encounter a lot of dogs with a lot of names in my day to day life. I can't keep them all.
Chavo.
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 I knew it
Oh
with
my
an
God,
O.
I knew there was a B in there somewhere.
I know. I was just holding our little Chihuahua Mila and be like, I never.
I was about to
loved-
say, this will get the Chihuahua lovers pretty
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, I mean that
Oh
scene was
my
very
God.
upsetting, but it was also really effective.
And really well
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
It really, if it was the first time where you get the fact that not only is something supernatural happening to him and he's being a little bit like, I guess you could say odd. That was the most particular moment where you're like, oh, he's going fucking evil because he loves
Yeah.
that dog.
Yeah.
Right. I had to.
And he was just
plug my
fucking
little ears.
laughing. He was just fucking laughing, and you just want to slap
And like,
that
and then
little
like
shit.
again with the character stuff, like how upsetting it was for him to like tell his best friend that like
He doesn't like him.
he
He
doesn't
hates
need
him.
him for shit.
And also, you care
Yeah.
about Hector a lot too because Hector's
Yeah.
just this kid who like
yeah, he didn't like ask for this
first
shit
to graduate in his family or whatever it was. Like first
Yeah.
guy to graduate in his family.
and his little relationship with his abuela,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they were just so sweet.
And the single dad thing, like if anybody gets that, like that's me. Like the whole like your mother passed away and you have like this relationship
Yeah.
with your dad, but your dad has to work all the time. I can relate to that.
And
shit.
then
Yeah.
like even like Oscar, who you don't really get to know very well, but like you still really feel for him because like he's the valedictorian.
Yeah, he
and shit.
accomplished something.
Yeah.
And even his own brother, who like you don't want to like because he's this like violent gangster. You like him because you see the
That he
love
cares
that
about
he
his
has for his
brother and
brother
shit, yeah.
to the point where he literally he squared up, got a shotgun, and shot some witches in the fucking face.
Right.
I love that. I really love that this movie does that.
Yeah.
None of the other movies would have ever.
Well, the other movies feel the need to make the audience as well as the characters in it feel helpless. So to give them something that blows them away like
Yeah.
that is really fucking like, it just feels good. It's validating. You're like, yeah, fuck that bitch. Get her ass. It feels really good.
Yeah.
But then they
Right,
take
like-
it away from you short after by showing the
But it
deaths
was
of the other
effective,
characters.
though.
But it was
Like,
really good. It was a good victory.
If Dennis would have had a fucking shotgun, Shit could have worked out so differently.
I don't know if I agree with that, but okay.
But yeah, just like the characters in this movie are so good, and that like is something that really is like a step above other Paranormal Activity movies for me in this one.
Definitely. And you know, okay, I have to make sure. Can you look up the director? It's either Michael Landon or Christopher Landon. He's somebody who he had been a part of like he helped write Paranormal Activity 4. Mm-hmm. All the Connect stuff was his idea.
Yeah.
And that's what people consider to be the best parts of the film.
Oh, definitely.
This guy has a really good eye for found footage horror. And I really want to see him pick up something like maybe like a VHS sequel or another Creep movie or something. Christopher Landon. Yeah.
God, Creep is so good
I'm like,
too.
I don't know, and I kind of like the sort of return to like one camera, but then they have the GoPro. But like, I kind of like that.
Everything's handheld, you know.
Yeah, and it's one of those things like how it forces the filmmaker to be a little bit more inventive. And because we don't have like a security camera that just captures everything.
But it's also very accurate for like when they would have it on them and everything. Because they're just two teenage boys fucking around.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's during the summer, right before college.
Exactly.
If they're going to
and
college.
there's a lot of Paranormal Activity bingo cards out there where it's like mark 1 if you mark 1's nice. Mark 1 if they're in a McMansion. Mark 1 if they have a serious conversation about what's going on at the pool. It's like, and this movie avoids like all the tropes. There's no pool scene.
Yeah, it's really nice.
There's no moment where it's like, well, we have the money to set up a super security system.
Right.
If they had the money to do anything, they'd move the fuck away from there, you know?
Yeah, so like I really like it that it's like realistic and and again it makes them be more inventive and like find different ways to shoot things.
And I feel like because they were more realistic characters and more fleshed out, I feel like they handled things better. Like they tried harder to solve it, you know, and to get him help.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the ending.
Oh, I do want to say one last thing before we get to the ending, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
And like something I want to say like about found footage in general is that like the key to making a really good found footage movie, which I think is something that this movie understands, is you have to like think about why the camera is where it is at any given time. Because, you know, other movie, like when non-found footage movie, you don't think about why is the camera in the room because the camera is not a part of it. But in the found footage movie, the camera is a part of the movie. It is a part of the action. It's like a character of itself. And so you have to think about why is this camera here? And why is this camera positioned this way and not this way in order to catch this thing? Why do we get to see this? Why are we holding the camera right now? And I think this movie does a really good job of that. It does a really good job of like catching that action in a way that makes sense. Whereas like maybe other Paranormal Activities don't.
Yeah, this one, it really feels like, you know, in a lot of found footage, it feels like the camera itself is a character and they have to kind of assign somebody to it. Like in Cloverfield, TJ Wood, I think that's who it was, had to carry the camera the whole film essentially because he had to be this character that was an intro for the audience, but also for the camera to actually fucking be there. In this movie, the camera almost feels like the phone you put down in the corner. Like if you're not paying enough attention, you might walk out of the room and forget it. And that's what makes it so interesting because you're literally just a fly on the wall.
Yeah. And like in another Paranormal Activity movies where we're just looking at security cameras.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That takes away the character of the camera. And it's like, well, why are we looking at this?
And it's a little less personal, like you said, with like the character of the camera. Like you feel more in it. Like you are there. Like you are the camera.
Yeah, like if you're seeing this all through the camera that the character is holding, or this character of the camera, like it has to have a good reason for me to be looking at it. Because somebody's carrying it or because somebody else is looking at it. But in other Paranormal Activity movies where I'm just watching security footage, like why is that there?
That's why PA2 is really disappointing. PA4 also.
Yeah, I was going to say that's why 2 and 4 are not good.
4 especially bad. Versus
3, which is really good because it makes sense for the camera to be where it is.
And also, you know, the inventive shots they did.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the ending now.
Okay, yeah.
The end of this movie, they give the real Paranormal Activity fans like a huge fucking like thing for us to chew on, something really interesting. So earlier part in the movie, they were talking about how basically they were going over different spells and stuff. And what's great is you didn't actually necessarily remember it in the moment because it was so much early in the film. But that creepy lady that lived next door, they were reading through her spells and they read something about if there's a certain door that you can make, and this door can travel to only unholy places in time and space. And then at the end of the movie, Jesse's getting ran out by all these witches and shit.
Wait, and is Jesse the one that's possessed, or that's the other one?
No, that's
Jesse's
Okay.
the one that's possessed.
Wait, what? You told me it the other way.
Hector's the one that's possessed.
No, I just looked
No?
I looked it up a few minutes ago.
You made me look like a dingus, Franny.
That's why
That was my
That's why I
bad.
was confused. But okay, so the one that's possessed is like running.
The one that was unpossessed is running around Hector.
Okay, let's say it once and for all. Who was the one that was possessed and who wasn't?
Okay,
Hold
the
on.
one who wasn't possessed, that was the one who's running away from all these witches.
Okay.
And
And do we ever find out what happened to the one who was possessed?
yes. Yeah, you see him at the end. What happens is the guy who wasn't possessed, his friend, the marked one's friend, is running through the house away from all these witches, and then he finds like a wardrobe looking thing, like a door. It's got like satanic writings all over and everything. He takes a step through it, the camera gets all fuzzy and looks all crazy. At this moment, you're realizing, oh, he went through like one of those magical doors, right?
Right.
And then you see him go into the house, and you're very familiar with the house because of a certain beige sectional. And and you realize, oh shit, he's in Mika and Katie's house. I wonder if Mika and Katie, and then like by the time you're processing, I wonder if you see her coming down the steps in the exact same outfit where she walked down the steps in the first one. And then you always wondered, well, why did she kill him downstairs and then bring him back upstairs versus just killing him in the room? In reality, it was because of budgetary reasons. But in the film, they wanted to give you a reason why that makes sense versus her just murdering him in the bed. And it's because the screaming she did was actually when she broke from that trance and saw this character, Hector. We'll call him Hector because I don't know what his fucking name is, apparently.
Jesse. Sorry.
Is Jesse? Then you were right.
No. Who's the one that... No, okay, it's Hector then.
I'm
'cause
starting to
it's
get
not
pissed. The one who's not possessed.
Hector.
Hector,
Sorry.
thank you. I'm like, I've said it a billion fucking times now. Someone please tell me the right answer. Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry.
Anyway,
I fucked up.
the Hector character. Fuck. Anyway, sorry. I just don't want to look stupid on the internet. I always
I
do.
don't want to either.
Hector.
Too late.
She
Anyway,
sees Hector.
she sees Hector. She starts screaming for Mika because she snaps out of that demonic possession for a second. And there's a strange man staring at her in her house. Mika runs down the steps. Katie snaps back into Toby possession, stabs the fuck out of him. When the Hector character starts running away, through the door, the magical door, the marked one walks through, and he's like a zombified demon version of himself, and he eats his
Oh,
friend.
right. Okay. Yeah, that sounds right. Okay. I remember now.
Fucking dope ending.
Yeah, that was a good ending.
Fantastic.
That was like a really good way. Like, this movie stands on its own, really, in a lot of ways, but it also ties in very well.
It rewards you for watching the other movies.
Yeah.
And it rewards you for not watching 4, because not one fucking thing in 4 matters in this movie.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Because fuck 4. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, everything. I mean, and then when he's down in the basement originally, as he's starting to like kind of hallucinate and all that stuff, you know, like the Jesse character, the one who's being taken over.
Yeah.
As he's starting to feel all that take over his body, and he's like going down the steps to get his dog, he runs into Katie and Christy, his children, and all this other stuff, and he starts hallucinating related things. And at first I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. But then when you realize that not only is he like an army for like, or he's a member of this army for like this demon bullshit, but also he walked through that door during a pivotal part of the Katie Christie story.
Yeah.
And that was his relation to that story, because in a way, the story could have gone very differently if it wasn't for the Hector character entering when he
I
did.
feel like I don't remember this part very well for whatever reason.
The Hector part?
No, just the part of him walking into the basement.
Yeah, if you he was hearing things, and he went down there and he saw Katie and Christy as kids with like black eyes.
Well, no, he was hearing his dog.
Yeah, he was hearing his dog, yeah.
But his dog
That
wasn't
made me
really
so
down there.
upset.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, yeah, I remember now.
I know,
okay.
but it still upset me.
I plugged
didn't
my
like,
ears at that point as well.
and like hearing little Chavo.
Little Chavo.
But Chavo's fine. They make him bark in one of the scenes after the whole ceiling
I know
thing.
they
Oh,
always
yeah,
do
they
that.
do.
I love that about the paranormal
Yeah.
Save that
activity
dog.
franchise. They always reassure you that the dog did not die.
It's helpful.
Yeah.
Right?
All right, does anybody have anything else they want to add?
I'm sorry I messed up the character names, y'all.
You were never forgiven, and also you're off the podcast.
Yeah, you're fired.
We're replacing you with Dwight, their
It's
dog.
just it just made me so mad because I was being so careful and I was still wrong both times. I'm like,
It was
God
my
damn
bad.
it.
Yeah, we're putting Dwight in your seat
Sound
now.
off
Yeah.
in the comments about how much I fucked up.
Don't do that.
No, you don't have
please
to do
don't.
that. Please
I can't
don't.
take it. Anyways. I
Yes,
really
Bridget?
liked this one. I
I
think
was
this
just
is my
looking at
favorite
Madison.
one. I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10.
I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10.
8.5 out of 10.
I'll also give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Nice.
Wow.
Wow.
Have we been adding up for this one?
Have we?
Oh, I guess we should do. Oh shit!
Lord.
Sorry, I just dropped my phone on the table.
I didn't realize. Have we been doing that?
Yep.
Where have I been?
Around.
I hate it.
Okay, so we have 3 8.5s.
And an 8.
And an 8. Divide that by 4.
I'm fairly certain already it's our biggest score.
This is 8.375, so 8.38.
I think the only other one was I think the first one is the only one that competes, and we'll double check that.
I think so.
Let me actually, I might have it on my phone. Hold on. 1 second.
I would say that for me personally, I though I don't remember what I rated the first one. I think I like this first one a little bit better, but this one's pretty good as well. Though I'll eat my words if I give the first one. Shit, sorry. If I gave the first one way lower or something. I don't think I did. What? Eat who?
Your words.
I hate that.
That's exactly what it's going to sound like if we put Dwight on here. He'd be like,
Dwight is our other dog, not
Yeah.
the Chihuahua.
the bug.
The bug.
Madison.
The Volkswagen Beetle. What?
Can you imagine if your
I can't find
parents'
it. We'll just
dogs-
compare later.
If what?
your parents' dog was here? She'd
Oh
go,
God, Sammy. Sammy's my parents' dog, and she says,
I
All
can
the time.
I can verify it's between this one, the first one, or the third one. More than
I
likely
think
the
probably
first
this
one
one
and
the
this
first one. Yeah. All right, so I guess we're gonna stop right here. We are gonna go and watch Ghost Dimension,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're gonna come back and record
"And-
the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
All right.
Back.
All right.
See you then.
See.
What if every time you spilled your popcorn or soda on your shirt, it's just kind of like blended in?
Street Stains is a hella original clothing brand that allows you to wear your stains with pride. Shop www.streetstains.com for art and apparel.
Use the coupon code BOOLOVESYOU, that's BOOLOVESYOU, for 15% off site-wide at www.streetstains.com. You can also check them out on Instagram at street_stains.
Again, thank you so much to our friends at Street Stains for sponsoring this episode of the Crosscut Cinema podcast.
If you catch me in the bathroom saying Yamar Yaladoob, just mind your business, bitch.
Is this already happening? Are we here?
Yeah, we're here.
Oh God, hold on.
Oh,
I told you I was
Lord.
starting.
I know. Hold on, but don't not you. But I'm just saying. I'm back. All right.
Yeah.
Paranormal Activity Ghost Dimension is what, Bridget?
Sucks. It's poo.
It's poo, as she said at the end. It's fucking poo. All right. If anybody can tell me the actual character origins of the character Skylar and who she's involved with at all, please let me know. Who is she friends with? Why is she there?
To my understanding, this is what the movie tells us.
No, the movie doesn't exclusively tell us anything.
It does.
Now, I Google checked this before we came in. There's a group of fans who don't understand the origin or importance of Skylar. I just checked.
Yeah, but I agree. I don't understand the importance. I don't understand why she's there. But she is a friend of theirs who is staying with them to go on a yoga retreat. And I guess they live near her retreat place. And she is friends with the central couple.
I feel like
That's my
for
understanding.
like retreats, you're supposed to like stay on said retreat.
Yeah,
Yep,
I
and
thought so,
also
too.
she's gonna stay with them in the house that they just moved into like 0.5 seconds ago.
It hasn't been that long.
They said they had just bought it.
You know, they unpacked really fast.
I really did.
That's actually how they found the ghost camera, because they had just moved
I was
in.
going to say,
They
they
have-
probably had movers, them bougie bitches.
Did they have Madison's mom come over and unpack them too?
Listen,
That's amazing.
you could charge an exorbitant amount of money for Shannon's services. Don't get me wrong. She'll be mean to you the whole time and tell you that where you would want to put your things are wrong. But she will get your boxes unpacked, bitch.
I love it.
She will.
I feel like that's marketable.
Yeah, like she'll tell you that every place that you've
like those
like
restaurants.
If you say, I'm thinking I'm gonna put this over here, and she'll be like, no, you're not doing that.
You know those restaurants where you go and the food's really great, but the staff is supposed to be mean to you?
Yeah,
like she's the movie service, like, move out of the way, cocksucker.
Yeah, like
Candy cane.
And then like everything that we had already unpacked, she moved. She like changed its location, and I'm like, why are you doing this?
Nothing was funnier though than when you're like, you told Bridget you can put this here, and she got all excited in the face, and you're like, and if I don't like it there, I'll move it later. I was like,
I don't even remember that.
I was there for that, so I can verify. It was a cat tree.
I was gonna say I don't think Bridget remembers either because she
a
told me
cat
she
tree.
didn't.
I really don't remember.
Well, you guys had a rough day, and she also hit her head very hard.
I might be concussed.
For those of you who don't know, we moved back to back.
I'll shame you on the button.
Logan and
I'm eating my cookie.
Where's your water?
I'm gonna need a drink of it after I eat my cookie.
The whole point is that it's not on the table.
Yeah, but I'm gonna need it in 2 seconds.
And I want it in your hand.
I think the worst part,
and I will be this brutal to everybody, not just you.
The worst part about Shannon moving us in, or not moving us in, but coming and helping us unpack, is that she moved, like we had the books. I had put the books in the bookcase, and she turned them sideways. She turned all of them sideways. And I'm just like, why?
Did you turn them back?
No.
Because I feel like they're in there correctly.
No.
No?
No.
To be fair, they all fit.
Wait,
down.
like she laid them down on their sides?
Mm-hmm.
I hate that.
Well, you guys were down a bookcase.
Also, she like shamed me for not having everything moved out, unpacked in the span of 3 days in the span of like 5 days when I also had been working 2 of those days.
Well, at least she came over and helped you guys out.
So let's talk about the movie.
Like we said, Toby could have came over and renovated for you like he did in this movie.
You right.
That was my you didn't let me have my segue. That was going to be my segue.
I didn't stop you from doing anything. I burped.
I know. That was my segue.
Okay.
My segue.
I also wanted to say one thing before we dove into it. In the last podcast, I forgot to mention that marked ones did terrible at the box office, and that this actually did slightly better. I don't know why, because this movie is poop.
I have a theory.
Yes.
Because that one's not about rich white people.
Yeah.
Nice.
And this one
it
is.
didn't do like this. Like it doesn't. The thing I loved about Mark Ones, but I can see it being less marketable, is it doesn't have like the Paranormal Activity feel. Like it doesn't have like those like that like.
I just bit my tongue. I was trying to get chocolate out of my teeth. I bit my tongue.
Oh, I thought you were going to okay? So what I said.
No, I'm over here like.
You call an ambulance.
Silently suffering. I'm sorry.
I thought you were like very much facially disagreeing with the words from Franny's mouth.
My tongue is stingy now.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Keep going.
I thought you were making faces of disgust at what Franny had to say.
I thought so too, because I was like, what I'm saying is literally factually accurate, but okay.
No, we're eating these really, really, really hard cookies, and they're getting stuck in my teeth.
Bridget made us some cinder block cookies,
but they're good. They're
actually good though. So hit her up.
Our oven is just like aggressive.
Hit her up for your baking.
It's small and angry.
Yeah,
you know how short guys are. They have a complex.
Short people in general.
It's kind of true.
Shut up.
I've never known a short bitch that wasn't like fiery. And I'm not talking about you really. Like you're fiery, but like really short bitches, like you're average height for a lady. Like a real short bitch, like lots of anger. I've had my fair share of experience with short bitches.
I wonder if Toby's short with all his anger.
Toby's tall as
we
hell.
saw Toby's got calves.
Yeah.
And he's got like big ass feet.
Yeah,
he's got big ass.
He's got some chomp.
And his like hobble walk.
He just learned to walk. You made the same argument.
I know.
So we get to see Toby in this movie.
Yeah,
in his mini forms.
But we don't really get to see his face. We get to see his legs.
Well, no, you see like a.
No, you kind of see a face.
Well, that's before he takes on his human form.
Yeah.
This movie was never meant to be seen in 4K.
No.
Or at all.
I don't know if this movie was made to be seen, period.
That's what I just said.
Yeah. This movie was made
sorry.
in 2013 and actually was made at first to release in July, and then they changed it to December because it was a Christmas movie in a sense.
Not really, but
it has Christmas elements. And then they delayed it all the way till the summer of 2015 because they had many rewrites. They had 4 writers on this movie. If you know anything about films, when you see more than 2 writers, you can pretty much guarantee that somebody took something out that should have been in. And somebody put something in that should have been.
And I will say too, I did look it up because I was wondering this as we were watching the movie, and I looked it up before we started. This movie was released in 3D, and you can like really tell.
Oh yeah.
There's shots that are in there and like that don't need to be in there, but are only in there because like it would look cool in 3D.
The fucking like alien chest
I was gonna say there's a scene in there straight from Alien where he like Toby reaches through like the main dude's chest and like towards the camera, and like that scene does like it looks stupid as hell.
It does,
but like in 3D, in theory, I guess it would be cool to have the hand coming out at you, but like,
but not really though, because it was not good looking.
Well, no, it still looks stupid.
Yeah,
but yeah, so like there were shots, and that wasn't the only one, but there were definitely shots in this movie that were like the big 3D go-getters that just did not play well on a non 3D viewing of this movie.
Yeah, and maybe that's why. Maybe that was the whole gimmick with the ghost camera and its fuzziness. Maybe it looks better with the 3D glasses.
I bet it probably does.
I bet you it does.
But that's not what we see in its home release.
Yeah,
and
I bet you the ghost stuff, like the like fuzzy, like
looks a lot better.
It's like actually kind of popping out and looks kind of cool.
Maybe that's why it did better.
Yeah, I was thinking that I was actually having the exact same thought. Maybe that's why it did better instead of the gimmick.
If you're like listening to this podcast and you happen to see this movie when it was in theaters in 3D, let us know what you thought about it.
Yeah,
I'd be interested to know. But it just, and like that's my issue with. I don't really like 3D movies. I can take them or leave them. Like there's been a few movies where I'm like, yeah, that was really cool in 3D, but mostly don't really need it.
What are some good examples?
What are some good examples
of good ones?
I'm trying to think.
Is Shark Boy and Lava Girl come to mind?
You know it, baby.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to think. Like nothing. I'm very tired, so nothing's like springing immediately to my mind.
A great viewer experience for me, even though the movie was bad. For My Bloody Valentine, the remake, was a really fun 3D movie to see in theaters because there were titties bouncing around.
Hell yeah,
that
dude.
were 3D. It was, you got Jensen Ackles in there looking at titties in 3D. It's really something.
Do y'all remember? Do y'all remember like? I think it was the Wild Thornberrys Rugrats movie where it was in fucking 4D. And they had like the smell cards you could get from fucking Burger King.
I've seen other movies like that before too. That's
the only one I remember.
That smell-o-vision shit is ridiculous.
You ever go on vacation to like a very tourist trappy vacation spot to like
or like Disney? Disney had one.
But I'm like thinking specifically about like a Gatlinburg or like a Myrtle Beach, and they have the Ripley's 4D theaters.
Well, you should know 4DX theaters are real, and what the theaters, like for instance, my buddy saw Doctor Strange in one, and the cinema when they went to the like cold ass place, it actually snowed in the theater.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's how the Ripley ones are.
Fucking cool.
I mean, it's not.
They
cool.
do them for all the movies. Like,
that's how.
I know. I'm just saying, like, it's not cool like that, but that's like what the Ripley's ones are. Like, you're like sledding down a hill and you've got like snow coming at you.
I remember
that's really cool.
I mean, it is what it is.
I think the 4DX ones look really cool because they have people who work in like special effects that every single time a big blockbuster comes out, they like block out the scenes and like make shit happen.
Yeah, no, it's certainly cool for real movies. It's not cool in like the Myrtle Beach boardwalk. I mean, it is cool because it's fun, but you know,
the Zoo near us, they have one, and I remember there's like a little stick thing that they have that pokes your back at times. I fucking
and like
hated
the
it.
seats move and shit.
Yeah,
it's a good time.
Can you guys tell we really cared about Paranormal Activity Ghost Dimension, by the way?
There's one at the Indianapolis Zoo, and I saw a SpongeBob movie there, and I thought it was the coolest fucking shit. I thought it was so fucking cool.
You know what wasn't cool? You know what wasn't fucking cool? This movie.
Yeah, this movie's not cool. But
It was so bad.
Yeah, there's just like a lot of this movie is, and we were saying this as we were watching, it's just clips from other movies.
Yeah, it's really,
it really is. They just
it's a highlight reel.
Yeah, or
Oh my God,
alternatively,
it
like
is.
substitute actor clips from other movies.
like really bad.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this has been a movie series that has been really run as like kind of a female-oriented movie series with the main antagonist being these witches, as well as like Katie, as well as on the other perspective, strong female characters that are denied the reality of situations. And then how do they fuck that up? Well, they get the guy that works at the Bob Summerall who replaces tires to be the guy who's in charge of the whole cult.
I said this dude looks like a second-rate pro wrestler. He's like lukewarm Steve Austin.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I thought that he looked like he was like one of those, like, he's been in prison and he found Jesus.
Franny, he looked like the Adkins version of our high school principal.
Oh God,
Dude, go ahead.
God.
Sorry.
So Logan and I went to a school in Kentucky for high school. And,
I went to other schools as well, but it's fine.
Yeah, but then he came to Kentucky and met the love of his life, me. Anyways,
I like that you had to clarify who the love of his life was.
I was gonna say
Right.
Madison, but you interrupted me with
Aw.
I said me proactively because I knew he'd say somebody else. But our principal had like a fucking ponytail. It was this big motherfucker with a ponytail. And every fucking year, it was a rumor that one senior was going to like cut his ponytail. And he literally said if anybody did that, he was going to sue them.
Can you do that?
He also like, I think got in like a bar fight one time. I don't know. He was
also,
really something.
He got drunk and he put a tractor on somebody.
I'm sorry.
He knocked a tractor onto a gentleman.
I'm sorry. Like a tractor?
Yeah, you know like how Fast and the Furious use like cars as like karate. They like throw punches, but with cars. I guess he did it with a tractor.
Love that.
I'm still struggling. Was he driving the tractor?
Listen, I don't know. I don't even really know how tractors work per se. I'm not the guy to ask. But
This guy like looks like your middle school friend's dad who like really wants to be the cool
Bridget,
dad.
do you need help? That's
yeah, that
very
is
loud.
also the loudest thing ever. She decided that now's the time to mess with the equipment.
I think you're
That
good.
person who said-
just move closer to it.
The person who said
Do we need to pause for a second?
Let's pause for a second.
But let me just say this before I forget it, though. He's your middle school friend's like dad who wants to be a cool dad because he drives like a Dodge Charger and plays in a band.
Let's say he plays
but the
Deep
band,
Purple.
Yeah, but the band just plays at like the local bar on Saturday night.
I hate it.
And he plays like 3 songs and then is really drunk like halfway through the set list.
Yeah, he's screaming "Free Bird" at himself.
Yeah. that's this guy. All right, we're gonna pause now for Bridget. Okay, we're back.
Sorry,
Hello,
I'm just
Mike's
having
adjusted.
a breakdown. Whoever said Bridget, stop messing with the fucking mic in whatever episode that was in the comments, you're valid in this one. Also, I don't know how you knew that was me messing with the mic. How do you know?
That's a good
It could have
question.
been
I don't
like
know.
literally anyone else, but whatever.
Just to make an
Maybe
assumption.
you were talking while you were doing it. Maybe
I
that was
mean,
their assumption.
possibly,
Because
I
if you're
don't know.
adjusting while you're moving it around, it might sound like you're adjusting it.
Stop.
Right. I'm
Let's do
sorry,
hands
guys.
off
I'm
the
having,
mics from now on.
I'm having a breakdown, and by breakdown, I mean it's like 2 a.m. and I'm exhausted.
Okay, let's talk about this movie. Let's really talk about it for a minute because there's so much here.
I really need to talk about it. Like, it could have been good. It really could have been.
I don't know if I
don't
agree.
know.
I think it could have been. I think they needed to do less campy shots with the ghost camera. If they would have, like, I liked the Donnie Darko-esque, like going into the void with the camera
Hard
where
disagree.
it sounds like
Didn't
it's
like
underwater.
that.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked
Because
that
how does
part.
you pointed out the best gotcha ever.
Yeah.
Good
How the
fucking
fuck
point.
does he know he sounds like he's under? He's not listening to it right
Listen,
now.
that's one of the things I was gonna say. Like, I like the concept, but I didn't like the fact that he somehow heard. Like, yeah, he definitely wouldn't have headphones in with that camera. I feel like,
I mean, this camera existing doesn't make sense.
yeah, a lot
I
of
was
the time
gonna
this
say-
camera's like
I was thinking that should
carrying
be
itself.
That should be a project for us. Let's add extra view cylinders to a normal camera, and then let's see if we can see ghosts, y'all.
Yeah, and like this
Like-
this movie is asking a lot of a viewer in terms of suspension of disbelief. You're asking me to accept that all of a sudden this ghost camera exists and
it
works.
has existed for like 50 years or so.
Right, and that you can now see these ghosts in your house. And if you're asking me to accept that, that's fine. But the movie is not good enough to be making these kinds of requests. Like, you know what I mean? It's not worth it.
And also, feel like this house, if I'm wrong, it's one of the two, and somebody might need to look this up. The house that they built this new house on is Katie's old house, like the area, or the grandma's old house.
Oh no, it's Katie. It's Katie and Christy, because outside you see their little plot,
their childhood home.
Yeah, that's their childhood home that supposedly burned down, but obviously is burned down by witches.
That's ass.
Yeah,
that storyline is ass.
Exactly. Like I like fragments of the concept. Like I like the idea. I feel like a ghost camera could have been done better. If somebody entirely different would have wrote it.
The concept of a ghost camera is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
But that's not the part I like the most. I like the stuff where they're looking at the footage of like Katie and Christy. Like, so they find a camcorder. That's the best part. That's the only good part. They find a camcorder. Right. They've got tapes. They play these tapes, and it's baby Katie and Christy. And Christy is talking about like seeing stuff through the eyes of Toby, and like she just. The creepiest fucking scene at first is when she's describing like the little girl's room from the current people that like live in this new house on their land. And like the father's just like putting it together in his head and like wanting to not believe it. I thought that was really good. And then they did another scene with that same concept where Christy described the room they were in and described them. And then like they brought their daughter into that room. Well, she like came into that room, whatever, and she sneezed, and Christy said, "Bless you."
Yeah, I think that stuff is really good.
Yeah, yes. I agree.
I was literally gonna say the same thing. I was like, well, why even say it?
Yeah, exactly. But and if that concept would have been the movie, that would have been so much better.
But that's my point. Is you said this movie could have been good. That's not this movie. That's one idea in this big ass movie that had a lot of problems.
True. What I think is that this movie does not need this ghost camera to be successful, but it relies on it so heavily.
This movie shouldn't have this series should have never conceptualized the idea
of a ghost camera.
And
it's so stupid because the thing...
Also, did Snapchat steal its idea from this?
It's TikTok.
Snapchat is the one with the little ghost. Oh. And they have cameras.
I thought you were camera. I thought you were talking about the TikTok thing where you can see like the aura heat wave shit, and there's that one chair.
The thing that makes
Snapchat was before this movie, I think.
The thing that makes
stole it from Snapchat in 2013. You sure? I don't know for sure.
Snapchat was around since like 2013.
I don't know when Snapchat started.
If we're done talking about Snapchat, I'd like to say something about the movie now.
No, I'm just kidding.
We're talking about the movie too, Madison.
We just weren't having you talk about the movie.
But like, I think what makes Paranormal Activity, like, you know, the series and the first movie specifically, like, really good is how much of the scares come not only from what you can see, but also from what you can't see.
For sure.
And that tension that builds because you don't always know if something's happening.
And this movie blew
and then that ghost camera just says, fuck all that. Yeah. I'm gonna take a shit on that concept real quick. Here's a ghost camera. You can see all the shit. And so after a while, it's not scary or surprising when you're seeing ghosty shit happen because you've been seeing it happen for the past hour.
It's just
and like so much of this movie is not only like it's not only recycled footage from other movies, which I wouldn't have as much of a problem with because they're using it in interesting ways when they use it. But sometimes, but
most of the time it's just like,
occasion.
You remember this?
There's also a scene where it recycles footage from itself, where they're showing the priest video that happened that we've already seen.
Like, not even 5 minutes ago.
Yes, other movies do that where it's like, look at this, but it's focusing on the character's reaction to it, not on us seeing it again.
And also
for
the
this
priest
scene,
character,
we're just looking at the screen showing the video that we've already seen. It's like, okay, why are we doing this?
The priest character is such bullshit to me. And here's a couple of reasons why. One, he's incredibly creepy, but that's not relevant. Two, the whole scene where he blesses the bear and talks to her, okay, fine. But why did we have to have a break where she bit him, he leaves the house, they do other shit, and then he comes back?
Right.
Just fucking get on with it. You're wasting our time with this anyway. Just get the fucking crazy ritual shit out of the way because this is fucking boring.
Yeah, like it's happening now.
Just do it.
You know what really pissed me off about this movie? They really tease us with Dennis the whole time. We don't get to see the man.
Dennis Quad represent.
Well, Dennis usually is behind the camera.
I know, but I just wanted a good Dennis moment.
We got our good Dennis shot in the first
There was a
scene.
couple of Dennis stuff.
I guess, but
he
I
sat
don't know.
down with her and was like, "Is Toby sitting there?" And then there was a whole.
And we got to see the scene where they're fucking.
That's true.
Yeah, we did.
Also,
I just always want more Dennis.
Yeah, let's say what you want is to watch PA3 again instead of watching
I want
Dimension now.
Is Dennis.
This, whoever said this is a Dennis Stan podcast, you're right.
You're right.
It's pretty true.
It is.
And
I'm indifferent towards Dennis, but I can't. I mean, I can't disrespect the game. He got 2 lesbians and my fiance to like him, so clearly he knows what he's doing.
And I mean, like there were so many times when we were watching this movie that a scare would happen, and we would just be like, oh, "That's so cheap."
Yeah.
Like it was like. Again, it doesn't have those creative scares that like play with the tension like the good Paranormal Activities movies do. It just has stupid jump scares that come from nowhere.
Also, is Bloody Mary canon in the Tobyverse? Is Bloody Mary like his girlfriend?
Yes.
Why is she so obsessed with Bloody Mary? What's the fucking point?
It's his wife.
Marmaduke.
You Marmaduke?
Yeah.
That sounds like you're saying Marmaduke.
No, I'm saying Marmaduke.
There's one point, I'll explain what they're saying.
Me too.
For those of you who haven't seen the movie, there's one point where the daughter, she's got a shitty name that they pronounce wrong.
Leela.
She's like in the mirror in the middle of the night, fucking with a bloody little hand, saying Bloody Mary backwards, and they don't.
Which is obviously
figure it
calling
out,
back to the scene in 3 where they're doing Bloody Mary and the
Also,
mirror breaks.
if you don't have subtitles on, she's just doing some dumb shit. Like, you don't know.
And
they
then,
explain
the
it for
reason
you,
that I knew
but-
is because I saw the subtitles. But then the next scene, the guy goes, "Was she saying Bloody Mary backwards?"
Oh, okay.
Like how? How are you gonna fucking?
And
What's Bloody
and then
Mary?
come to find out, he doesn't know what Bloody Mary is.
Yeah. What's
So
Bloody
how would
Mary?
he-
I was born on fucking Mars. I have no idea.
Well, I think that one bitch that we don't understand why she was there, she heard the Bloody Mary too.
But she didn't say anything about it. He was
was
just
she
like,
Bloody Mary? Was that what she was?
Maybe.
No.
Why was she there?
I don't know. She didn't need to be there. I don't really understand her either.
And she kept disappearing.
Yeah, there's times when she just wasn't there at all. I kind of feel like either this character had more to do and they wrote it out, or
Good fucking
this
point.
character, for some reason, they felt they needed another character in there and they wrote her in.
This character is a let me explain it character.
Yeah.
she really is.
Here, this is
And
the
not
camera
done
that
well.
can catch ghosts.
And like for some reason too, in the other movies, they're not able to find out really like concrete information about what the fuck's going on. And then for some reason in this movie, this guy must be the Wikipedia master because he's like, this is
5
cool.
seconds, yeah.
He's like, they're called the midwives. They're a coven. They do this and that, and they've been around since the Middle Ages.
And they only
they're
respect men
linked-
with ponytails.
And they're linked to this disappearance that happened, and also this one. And I'm like, okay, where is this all coming from? Because we didn't know this before.
You know, speaking on the blonde
go ahead.
bitch, whatever her name was,
Skylar.
There's one point for no reason they talk about how her job is moving furniture around for the feng shui, and I bet there was a fucking scene where she moved the furniture one way and Toby fucking rearranged that shit.
Yeah,
that
and why
cut.
would they take it out? Because that's actually good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why else would they say something about this bitch moving furniture? It was just kind of stupid.
You can definitely tell that this movie got hacked a little bit.
Yeah, there's moments.
Like a lot.
There are moments where it's no tension and then everything's happening. It just feels like there was a lot of character building that was taken out and just reappropriated.
Yeah, it feels like we got chopped up a little
And
bit.
like, honestly, that's what's happened when you fucking put 4 writers on a movie.
4 writers, because you know that it didn't start with 4 writers. It just slowly got, okay, we don't like that part. Let's get a new guy in here. Let's do this. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be held out for a year. Let's try to fix it. Oh, it's so bad. We're going to hold it for another year.
I mean, like, anyone who's been even like had their piece workshopped, like, you get more than like 2 voices speaking out a piece, 2 or 3, it gets fucking crazy. Like, they start.
That's why those of you who say our podcast sucks, we can't take that in. We already got 4 voices in the room, so we just gotta we just gotta ignore that.
We can't listen to your opinions.
Right.
I'm sorry, we're
Yeah.
at capacity for the number of
Yeah,
opinions
exactly. I mean, we can hear you out sometimes, but we can't take it to heart.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah. What did Logan say? Like, you can't let people into your creative process.
Yeah, if
you
you already have so many
process,
people, you can't let everybody in because then you're losing your voice.
Or everything just becomes what happened to Sonic.
So,
well, actually, Sonic's a bad example.
Well,
Sonic is a really bad example.
A bad example because everybody lost their fucking jobs because of Sonic.
Oh, I was gonna. Okay, that's fair, but I don't know.
Yeah,
if
that is fair.
That's exactly what I mean. It doesn't matter. We're moving.
well,
That's what I
guess
mean.
the moral of the story is don't take advice or criticism from anyone.
Just follow your fucking
Madison,
heart.
you don't need more of that energy.
You should definitely be able to take criticism from people.
No,
I
you're right.
disagree 1,000% with you.
No, do not take that shit.
No, take criticism.
Hear it, but don't take it to your heart. Don't listen to that shit.
Well, it depends.
Fuck
I mean,
haters.
if it's like
If it speaks to you, take it.
I'm just
If-
joking.
but-
obviously, listen to criticism only if it's welcome.
But to take everything at an equal level, like you're in the room with us, we can't do that. And that's what happened with this movie. Is there was 4 people who all had probably very different opinions of how this movie should be, and as a result, they got poopy.
And you can tell too that this movie is a lot of different things, and some of it works, and others just does not.
it feels like 4 different writers wrote like 4 different movies, and they're like, fuck, shit, all right, and then they just like
How do we
scrambled
fix
together.
this? A
And
ghost
they just
camera.
they just took the best of each of them, and we're like, well,
All
Here it
right,
is.
this is it, and the producers were like, "Fuck, all right,
when Frosty the Snowman's
pushed it.
scarier than Toby in the movie, they fucked up.
yeah.
You know what
And,
really
like,
that was a
also
good scare.
You
That
know
was
what
a good
also
one.
pissed me off? So you know the classic Paranormal Activity scene where somebody's standing by the bed or somebody's standing somewhere.
my God,
And they
that.
do the fast forward in time where you see it on the camera, and they fucking do it with Toby's like ghost ass.
Yeah, they just do it with a Death Eater and shit.
Yeah,
That's so
okay,
stupid.
do that with the little girl or some shit. Don't fucking waste that good idea of a
Do
scene
that
on
with
that.
Skylar, where she slowly writes on
Right?
postcards who she is and points it at the camera, slowly explaining her relevance to the story.
like in those
It was-
2012 videos.
right?
Like in Love Actually, when that dude goes to the house, he's got all these. She's just doing it to the ghost camera.
Or like in that Taylor Swift music video where they're like
Oh my
peeking
God.
through the windows.
Like, are you
where
okay?
she's like, you okay?
No, there's no Chinese buffets.
But this movie really
Logan
like
during quarantine.
really like with the fucking Paranormal Activity bingo or drinking game or some shit like
It's
that.
bingo.
Like it fucking. I bet there's drinking games out there too.
Oh,
I'm sure,
definitely.
It
but I don't want
fucking
to die.
hits every goddamn point. They're in a McMansion. They fucking like do that scene. They fucking do the like 2 nights, 3 nights, whatever the fuck. Like it's just stupid.
Everyone
and, like,
dies except
Yeah.
the child. You know.
Exactly.
And like it's fun to watch Paranormal Activity because you have the things that you've come to expect a Paranormal Activity to give you. But in this movie, and like in other movies, they feel like callbacks to that original. And in this movie, they just feel like cliches, and they rely on them too much to be scary. And I think that like my issue with this movie too is like there are some good tense scenes in this movie, like the scene where the mom goes through to the ghost dimension to the house and she's like chasing the little girl around.
I didn't love that, but I could see why people might like it.
I liked that scene. I thought it was tense,
You
and
know?
it was like, made me anxious. And the scene where she's getting ready to light the fire in the fireplace, like that's
That-
tense
I
because
feel
it's
like-
like kids shouldn't touch matches.
Yeah, no, that
Like,
was
one
tense
felt,
for sure.
That one felt like probably the most realistic like fear
Yeah.
I had.
You know,
But-
Toby like built this fucking tunnel to like the ghost dimension in the little girl's room. And we were all discussing during the podcast what would compel us to go through it to save. And we all decided only our pets. That's about it.
Yeah, if
So-
Smokey was down there, I'd
Right?
go. But like,
yeah.
and like,
God damn it.
I don't know. You know,
I don't know.
If
that
Madison
my
was down
kid,
there-
chalk it up to a loss. I can't.
if Madison was down
Have
there,
another.
I'd go.
You would?
Yeah, I
if
would
Bridget
go.
was down there, I'd go
Yeah, say that
Reluctantly.
again.
reluctantly.
I want to read the truth in your eyes.
You'd first like scream down there, like try to.
Like, you'd be like, Bridget, you good? Bridget, you all right?
And then Bridget being nervous, not wanting to upset anybody.
No one would come for me because I know Franny. No one would come for me. I'd be back there like waiting, looking at my watch and shit. Like she's not coming.
I have big let's leave if there's a problem and
Yeah, so
get the
she'd
fuck
write it
away
off
from
if
it
I
energy.
didn't. If I didn't leave like 5 minutes
Guess
before
he
it
died.
happened, she'd be like, "It's his fault."
like to me, to me, I would really have to be there. I could only know in the moment with the adrenaline pumping.
Wow. You should be certain about one person.
Wow.
Certain about the cats.
I'd go get Bridget or you or
Bridget,
Franny.
is she still your boyfriend after that?
I don't know. We have to have some talks. I think
Serious
after this.
boyfriend
Madison
girlfriend
would call
talks.
me, and then I'd be dumb enough to go try
I
to
bet
get
there
you.
are like bugs and shit in there, and I don't like.
Like, I would go for Logan and Frani as well, by the way. I don't want that to be known.
Thanks, pal. I don't know if I'm just kidding.
I mean, if you wouldn't go for me, that's valid.
I would
That's
try
fair.
my damnedest.
And like also,
kidding.
I mean, I really am not the one you want in that situation.
No,
Like,
I see that.
I'm fucking slow as shit. I can't run fast.
Madison also can't lift shit. Like,
can't
if there's
lift
anything
shit.
in the way of you, like,
My
you're
upper
dead.
body strength isn't limited.
Yeah.
I'm stronger than she is, which
Bridget
is like
stronger than I am.
wild
She
to
can
me.
definitely lift more
Yeah.
than me. Yeah, that is not the kind of crisis I'm good in. like any crises, this is what I've come to learn about myself. I'm pretty cool in a crisis unless it requires a degree of physicality. Because there are things that I physically cannot do. And that's why like the canoeing was such a crisis.
Oh God, the canoeing.
The canoeing.
Oh yeah, they know the canoe story by now. We don't need to rehash
get back
it.
Let's
into
not
it.
rehash that.
Just
But-
know this is a canoe-free zone.
I'm good in a crisis where it's like, okay, this crazy thing happened and we need to figure out what to do. But I'm bad at a crisis where it's like, okay, this crazy thing happened and we need to physically extradite ourselves from the situation.
Then you just call your mom and the police.
Correct.
I called the police to be fair.
You're damn right I
I feel like I'm
calling
really
your mom though.
do. Look,
Mom, there's demons.
no matter how old I get, like Shannon,
It's Shannon when there's no demons, but when demons are around, it's mom.
it's mommy. Yeah. Oh God, she solves my problems. She knows what to do. She's so no nonsense. That's what like is really. She thought the canoeing thing was hilarious at the time. Like,
I think she's probably still does.
no, she does too. She does for sure. But she was like not worried about us at all. She was just like laughing. She was like, "You're ridiculous." She's like, "I don't know why you would do that." I'm like, "I don't either."
We literally said the night before, "Oh, you're going canoeing?"
Madison
And
really
then
wanted
Madison
to.
goes, "It can't be as bad as last. It doesn't matter. We can't
I don't
rehash
want to
this."
talk about
yet."
it again, but like
Exactly. We don't need to.
But I knew.
Listen
But,
to
yeah.
the last podcast to get our reference.
But
No, the last podcast is. Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. I don't even think I would be able to retrieve Bridget if I could. I think I would try.
You would like
Bridget,
try
I'd
to
get
drag
you.
her
I'd get
ass
you.
back.
I'd get you and Madison out of that situation.
You would try
I
to.
trust.
You would
I
try
trust
to like.
Logan in this and Franny.
You would try to like solicit Toby's help.
You, like,
You would reason with him like, we all love money. What about money, please? My girlfriend's in there.
Fiance.
My
Right.
boyfriend's in there.
That's my boyfriend. Yeah,
That's
I
my
just think-
boyfriend, you bitch.
I don't
Listen,
know.
Toby, hear me
man.
out. I'll do a rewrite if you just get her out of there. I promise I'll make this movie better.
Like, yeah, like I'm usually pretty calm, but if the crisis requires a physical action, I turn to Bridget. Bridget can handle it.
Surprisingly, yeah.
Yeah, Bridget can like especially in a moment of need. Bridget can like lift shit. Like she can run. I trust her. Like
Yeah.
if ever we're in a true emergency situation, I'm staying put, and Bridget is going for help. Why? Because I will just slow Bridget down and kill us both.
I mean, I second that. Literally, when she was having like her panic attack during the canoe fiasco, I was like, she's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm like, just fucking stand there and breathe. Let me deal with this shit. I didn't say
And
that.
like Bridget,
I wasn't
Bridget
that
was
mean.
like the one who carried the canoe and shit. Like it was a whole thing.
I feel
She's
like
insane.
This is all, I'm overstimulated.
I am too.
I know.
To get back to this terrible movie.
The fucking CG shit, like
Yeah, the CG
the
shit.
effects are so
like,
bad.
And like there were just so many cheap scares, and then the moments that did have that tension, which is what I was trying to talk about, and then got sidetracked.
There weren't many.
But
really
those
weren't.
moments that did have that
I think
tension,
there was like one for
Yeah.
me.
it really didn't feel earned. Like it didn't feel like the movie did anything to build that tension. It just like it happened to craft a tense scene, but nothing around it like made it really pay off in my mind, at least.
Logan, say what you said about the fucking priest dude. When we were watching, that you thought that he was like working for the cult.
Oh yeah,
and how that would actually.
I got vibes that he was working for the cult because everything he was doing was riling this fucking demon up.
And like he was doing the wrong shit.
He was just like, "Come fight me, pussy!" Like
I joked that was just ponytail guy with a shaved head,
which would have been amazing.
It really that would have been amazing. It would have made things a lot. It wouldn't have made it a lot better, but it would have made at least an interesting twist.
One scene I liked was like towards the end when they're like looking at the tapes or whatever, and they find a tape shot right before they moved in, and it's like clearly ponytail guy talking about the house, like, and how the house is perfect for them. And then like they like look for like the business card of the person.
That's the twist.
Yeah.
And Katie's the one that sold them the house.
Katie is the busiest broad. She's so busy. She's like, I'm a mother. I'm a murderer. I'm a real estate agent.
Get you a bitch that can do everything.
I'm a foster mother in Nebraska.
I was gonna say, you know how in
Katie's
what
that
is it?
Bitch.
Is it 3 where there's Hunter and the other kid?
4.
And Katie's like the mom of the other kid.
Yeah, the foster mom in Nebraska randomly.
Yeah, so while she's just like randomly gone, because like that's the whole thing, the kid has to stay with them because she's like gone.
She's out showing the house.
Showing that house to this couple. She's like, all right, I made the sale. How have you been doing with your project, kid?
Yeah. Kid, I just sold the house for $3 million. What have you been up to?
You know,
I worked so hard for this family.
We should all
While you were dropping chandeliers, I was putting them up, you putz. Like,
we should all aspire to be as good of multitaskers as Katie is.
Because don't forget, she also is like a time traveler because you see her in marked ones and she's hanging out with.
That bitch is everywhere.
She's busy.
That is a strong female lead.
She is a strong, independent woman.
She don't need no man besides Toby.
It's crazy.
Toby's her boo.
And ponytail guy.
And ponytail guy.
And ponytail guy.
I just think that Toby should have remained this like amorphous concept.
We should have never listen. I go back as far as PA3. He should have never gotten a fucking name.
Yeah.
No, I like the name. What I don't like
the name Toby.
What I kind of like it. I don't care.
Even
I just think, have you guys ever seen Anchorman 2?
Oh, hold on. Shout out to my friend. I think my friend has 2 cats, both named Toby.
Oh, that's right.
I'm sorry, what?
The Tobys. The orange tabby's named Toby.
How can you have 2 cats?
You know, she's got a kid. I think the kid just went with it.
He's like 3, so
Okay,
he
but
It's
like-
probably easier that way.
Yeah.
But like,
They're both orange tabbies.
I know I told
It's
you guys
fine.
this before, but I don't know if I ever said it on the podcast. I dated a girl who had a cat named Teddy, and she named it when she was a kid, and it wasn't Teddy like a teddy bear. It was Teddy as in Theodore Roosevelt.
I hate it.
Kids are so fucking weird.
So
I once named a cat Black Paint.
Black paint.
should I tell my friend Sean's cat
black
story,
pink?
or is that
Yeah.
too much?
I feel like I don't know.
Let's save it
like
for
it.
another time. Somebody remind me one day. I
we
do want
will.
to say though, I always think of Anchorman because in Anchorman they rehabilitate a shark and name him Toby, and all I think is Will Ferrell singing Toby, oh my Toby, how much I love you. Whenever I hear the
funny.
name Toby in this movie,
I think of The Office. I
So
think
that-
of him
all
just
the-
like Toby.
Degrassi.
all
Degrassi.
that cool demon bullshit is like taken right out of him. He's just some white bread dude named Toby.
Yeah.
I do hate, however, how they subtitled his name in this one because we all watch movies as
It makes it
T-O-B-I.
Sacre bleu.
Oh, and then dude says, well, Toby's not that common of a name. Like, yes, it absolutely is.
There's literally 2
200%.
cats in the same house with the name Toby.
I knew a Toby in the goddamn 5th grade. And we're still friends on Facebook. Even though I don't talk to him.
Shout out to Toby.
If you're listening to this, bud, she doesn't talk to
Toby,
you.
Toby listens to this and unfriends you.
That's fine.
Aw.
He's like, see, you're not. She's a liar. Check the
all right.
internet.
I feel like even the name Tobias would have been scarier than fucking Toby.
No, that reminds me of Arrested Development.
Literally, I don't
And
know.
then there's the obvious Toby Turner. We don't talk about him, but Toby's a common name.
Right, but
Toby
I mean,
Maguire.
I like it. I don't
Toby
care.
Keith.
I
Toby
just
Keith.
wish they would have had consistency with the way they subtitled it and continued T-O-B-E-Y.
No, this is a different demon. This is Toby.
Fuck you.
Toby.
they just gave up. I feel like they just gave up.
Sacre bleu.
Like,
Yeah, this movie was just a poop. They pooped it out.
It was a poopy.
Can we read it?
It was
like a leaky shit.
It
went in so many different directions. Nobody can control it.
It's like the shit you have after you have a mushroom. Like the next day,
God,
it's just like spirally and wet and not good.
Like a magic mushroom?
Yeah.
Yeah, like magic.
I thought you meant like 8 mushrooms in general, and I'm like, what kind of like system do you have? Are you
or like the numerative 8 mushrooms? Like I had 8 mushrooms. like 8, not 7, not 9, but 8 of them.
Like, are we talking like portobello? Like, are we talking big mushrooms?
Okay, I'm sorry, but who the fuck on the planet's gonna be like, he must mean shiitake? Like, nobody fucking thinks that I wasn't talking about the drug or the hallucinogen.
I was just double checking. I've never had.
Oh, actually, I was talking about like grilled mushrooms on like pizza.
Shut up! I've never done a magic mushroom.
I've never had mushrooms on my pizza.
Shut up! I really want to, and we talked about this.
I want to have mushrooms on my pizza too.
I've been told that mushrooms are like the best drug for your body, like even better than caffeine.
I'm sure
and
the
alcohol.
best drug for your body is none, but
that's what I've been told.
Sure.
Shout out to Bridget, 1 week sober.
What kind of mushrooms do you have? She's like fucking tweaking out. Like, Logan, tell me what kind of mushrooms. Because if you have a certain kind, I want some, but don't tell me.
I feel like I'm a little frantic, I'm a little feral.
Like. Not to ask.
She's a little more awake than normal.
Not to ask this on the podcast, but like, do you guys want to do mushrooms with me sometime?
We can't legally answer that.
Okay.
You can't legally ask that.
I mean,
was just,
on your
just
pizza,
hypothetical.
right?
I was trying to catch you in it because I'm working with the police.
She like hides her wire.
We knew you were a narc the moment you called when you had that canoe issue. We knew you were a member of the boys.
All right. So before we rate it. Do we have the other rating so we can say finally?
No, but we'll just bring it up at some point, or we'll post it somewhere. But
it's a shame we don't have them now. I thought you had them written down somewhere.
I thought I did too, but I think I deleted that note. If you want, we can pause, listen to the numbers, and come back and do it.
We're not.
See, isn't that funny that you don't want to do that?
I thought you had it saved. I
thought I did too. It must have got deleted.
Shame on me for thinking you were responsible.
Follow us.
I'm sorry. Where are your numbers? Oh, nowhere. I never out loud said I was keeping track of them. I never out loud said that.
Hey, this is another off-camera fight.
Off camera? We're all off camera.
Exactly. I'm breaking it up.
Tell each other. You hug and you tell.
You gotta wear the same shirt.
No, but on a real note though, on the next pod, we'll just say at the top what we thought it was. But you guys will know.
You're holding hands and walking down the street right now.
Okay, can we? Let's rate it. Let's rate this thing.
Tell each other you love you.
It's a 1.5.
It's
1.5. 1.5.
I'm gonna give it a solid 3.
I'm gonna give it a 2.5.
Oh
wow. But the experience of watching with you guys was a 10.
Oh, thank you.
I'll give it a 3.
Okay. I gave it a 3.
So it's not a great score.
It's a 2.5 from us.
All right. I'm sure that it's either the best is either marked ones or the first one.
As am I.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's one of those two, and I actually think
3, but
I actually think it's marked ones. I think that you guys rated it a little higher.
Marked
No. I have it mixed up. I think you guys rated the first one a little higher. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, we shall see. I don't know.
We'll figure it out. Somebody will post it.
You can also follow
it.
us on Instagram at Crosscut Cinema Pod, I believe.
Guys, make sure to sub. We're really close to 1,000 subs.
I mean, at the time of, to be clear,
we
at the
might
time
already
of,
be,
of recording this, we're very close.
And then Twitter, we are Crosscut Cinema. So Crosscut Cinema Pod on Instagram, Crosscut Cinema on Twitter.
This will probably be like 2 weeks from when this is actually. This was probably recorded about 2 weeks before this was posted. I'm having a stroke. I'm sorry.
Give me your mushrooms.
We are also time traveling
here.
We are also time traveling.
Yeah, I know.
Via Toby's doors.
Okay, so let's talk about what's happening next week. So,
what are we doing next week, kids?
We'll just talk about the next couple of reviews because we don't know what's going to come first.
Well, I think we know what's going to come next week for sure. It's going to be Tenet and Top Gun.
I don't know if that's for sure.
I thought it was Kill Bill.
How would that be for sure when we're doing it? Everything will be
Should we be doing this on the podcast?
How would it be next week if it was already completed on the? That's way further out.
How could it not be? What are you talking about?
Okay, I don't think that it would be the next one. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, let's announce a couple things that are coming in the future.
Then maybe it won't be next week.
This is so chaotic.
Let's do the next 3 that we have on
We
the
all
docket?
have.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so at some point we're going to do Tenet and Top Gun.
Yes.
We are going to do Kill Bill.
Both
And
volumes,
both
1 and 2.
volumes, we'll do them together. And then we will be doing Scooby-Doo, The Mystery Begins.
And The Master.
It's like a Cartoon Network Scooby-Doo movie. And The Master, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Those are our 3 things. I thought we had
We have an exact list, but we are seeing some movies later. And
I guess
we're gonna
you're
have
right.
stuff
I guess that's
pre-recorded,
true.
so who knows?
Yeah, you're probably
if
right.
it'll go that way. Because we'll talk about it in a second. But
I think you're right. Yeah.
Okay. I got you. All right, guys.
Okay, yeah, that was a really
Thanks
frantic
for-
ending, but
Don't
thanks
worry.
for hanging in there.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging in through our feral energies. Honestly.
Thanks for listening to hopefully the entire Paranormal Activity series. If you didn't listen to all of it, we're going to have it in a playlist. So just go to our channel, check out the other ones, youtube.com/crosscutcinema.
And maybe someday we'll get to do another if Paranormal Activity, there's another movie coming out apparently. So
In 2021, Logan said.
Yep.
So if the world doesn't end, we'll see you all then.
There you go.
We love you.
Bye.
Bye.